If you're a sports fan, odds are you know that the NBA 2K27 gameplay trailer was dropped earlier this week. And there's a lot to go on ahead and talk about, man, because to me, that trailer didn't really talk so much about gameplay. We got some answers from that 2K stream, but that's not really a gameplay trailer. That's more like a cinematic trailer, right? And there's a lot to get into with all that. But before we do, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. You guys have been enjoying the content. Let's go on ahead and get into it. NBA 2K27 is dropping on August 28th, if I'm not mistaken. And we're going to get news on August 18th. Now, there is a little something odd in there that I'm not really liking too much. And it's the fact that on August 17th, that is the last day to pre-order with the discount, right before they drop the news. Why not drop the news before that discount expires? That way people have access to buy the game at a discounted rate, especially if they are a returning player. It just doesn't really make sense, and it actually scares me because I feel like maybe they understand that what they're going to drop won't be as groundbreaking or as just game-changing, and they don't want to drop that before people going ahead and, you know, spend money on the pre-order. So that's just one issue there. But aside from that, the monetization in NBA 2K, I feel like it has gotten worse over the years, right? And when I say worse, it's not good. I mean, to be completely honest, you look at my team, right? I play a lot of my team. I dabble in it from time to time. But after a certain point in time, you understand that it's time to move on. And this year we saw a half box drop every Friday, and it was with different creatures. And when I say creatures, I'm talking 7-foot tall monsters like Wemby. You had freaking Yao Ming in those packs. You had Zach Edey. I mean, you had a ton of 7-foot 3+ monsters in there, man. And again, that's not even remotely the biggest issue, right? Because it all dabbles into my career and how much builds cost and how much, you know, my team costs. Like, my team to me, man, and I've been playing my team since the beginning of time. This mode has become the most expensive Ultimate Team mode there is out there. Like, I'm not joking when I say that. That is a very expensive Ultimate Team mode, and I just feel like it has only gotten worse. And that's the same thing with my career and the builds, right? The spending money to going ahead and get these builds and how expensive they are is just a lot, right? And to me, that's the reason why this trailer does not really matter till release date. None of it matters till release date, till we hear the news, till we see what's new. Is the monetization going to get pulled back? Is it just going to go harder? GTA 6 is right around the corner, and I'm kind of at the point where I feel that NBA 2K is probably going to, you know, go a little bit crazier on monetization. They're going to try and get people early because they understand that once GTA drops, a lot of people are going to drop off. It is probably going to be some of the lowest months they've had in a really long time in terms of microtransactions. So I do feel that the monetization is probably going to be really bad at first. I hope that they kind of ease up on a lot of things, but the microtransactions have only gotten worse over the years. Now, looking at this trailer, looking at the details, we got to go on ahead and talk about it. Overall, I didn't think it was a bad trailer. I thought that seeing all the players in different jerseys was kind of cool, right? Giannis in a Heat jersey, LeBron doing the chalk animation with the Sixers jersey. And a lot of people have talked about that specific animation that's been around in the game for a long time, right? But as long as the gameplay is solid, I can care less what a decent animation has been in the game for, to be completely honest. That animation is not the worst animation in the game, but it ain't the best animation either. But if the gameplay is good, then I truly don't care because it's all theatrics. It's all for presentation. And they did all this, but I couldn't help but notice Jalen Brunson looks like absolute crap, to be completely honest. I really dislike how his model looks. I feel like WWE 2K has done a better job with Jalen Brunson's model, in my humble opinion, and I feel that they could probably port that model. Honestly, like, please, something. Anything is better than this model that we see right here, y'all, to be completely honest. Karl Anthony Towns doesn't look great either. This model has been in the game for the last, I believe, 2-3 years, and again, it's for me the fact that these guys are NBA champions. They won the NBA championship this year. Why not go out there and give them the best possible models that you can go out there and give them? Especially if you're going to highlight them in the trailer as much as you did. And there's certain things that I've seen where Wemby even gets a block and he's not even really touching the ball when he gets the block. It still looks like there is some sort of invisible wall on the court. there's a couple of things out there, man, that I am not necessarily a fan of, and I want to see when the game drops how a lot of this is going to play out. And graphically, I don't feel like the game has really advanced. You look at a 2K21, you look at a 2K14, and those games graphically advanced a lot. And I understand that these aren't new consoles, right? We're not talking about a next generation, but it just feels like we kind of peaked. And it makes me wonder, have we peaked? Like, is this it? Like, is this going to be it? And nonetheless, this isn't a shot at the game looking bad. I don't think the game looks bad necessarily. I think the game looks good. But is there going to be an advancement made, right? I feel the same way with WWE 2K. And if you guys are new to this channel, the reason why I keep referencing WWE 2K is because it's what I've built this channel on. And for me personally, I feel like, did we peak? Are these the best graphics that we are going to see looking at a WWE 2K and an NBA 2K, right? Because I do feel that a different feel, a different look could help the game. And nonetheless, NBA 2K, I feel like it always has a different feel every year, something new to get used to. But it does essentially look very, very, very similar. And that's where I think a lot of the fatigue lies, you know, year after year after year. Graphically, I do think that a lot of things could change, even with the models, right? You know, and y'all might think I'm nitpicking here, but that don't really look like Anthony Edwards to me. Some people were saying, oh, he got scanned, and I'm like, where? I don't think he got scanned. If he did, I think that they might need to go back in there and tweak some things, to be honest. You know, so that's just where I'm at with this trailer. And as we move past the trailer, we know that some news came in. We know that the auction house no longer has an escrow, and we're talking my team stuff right now. I'm very glad that that's the case, y'all. I've played a little bit every year. I don't play that much no more. But the escrow, waiting 30 minutes for a card to get out the auction house, was ridiculous. I am so glad that that's finally gone, and that is something that we can move from as a community. That's great. There is now a cross-platform auction house, which makes me think, when are other games going to do this as well? That's going to be really good for the market, because now there's going to be so much more cards, because now you're combining both communities, both consoles, and putting them into one for the My Team auction house. I think that's going to be a W for the My Team community. I think there's going to be a lot more things that, you know, they'll be able to see and they'll be able to get, and I think that is going to make the market a bit cheaper. I still have a problem with the fact that there are 4-hour bids. That's a big problem for me. That has been a problem for years. Madden has it where I can go in there and grab my card as soon as it drops. If I want to spend 3 million coins on it in the first minute, I could do that. Why can't NBA 2K? So that's where I'm at with that. But there's some really big news that I think turned off a lot of the community. This dunk meter is now dynamic, and it controls every single animation. And honestly, the dunk meter, to me, it has been a failure the last couple of years. So the fact that they doubled down and put this now on every single thing that you do, any dunk, I'm not a big fan of it, personally, in my opinion. I do think that, you know, if it's done correctly, it could add a little bit more of a skill gap, but I just feel that it's unnecessary. Why do I have to time a two-hand wide open dunk? Even though the meter will probably be massive, but I'm just not a fan of it. I hope that this is something that's worked on and it's actually smooth and it actually plays the way that it's supposed to, because the last couple of years, man, the dunk meter disappears at times, and I don't think that NBA 2K has seen enough reports of that, you know, and that's something that has just been an L. You know, so hopefully, I'm hoping that this is a solid year. I'm hoping that a lot of these companies are putting their best foot forward with GTA 6 coming out. And when I say companies, I just mean dev teams, man. I play all these sports games. At the end of the day, I want all these sports games. I want all these wrestling games. I want them to be all as good as possible, because I don't gain nothing with a video game being bad. I'm just wasting money at that point. So that's just where I'm at with all this. Let me know your thoughts on what we've seen of NBA 2K27 thus far. Let me know if you're excited. Let me know what you think. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. You guys have been enjoying the content. I'm going to catch y'all. Peace.